It was a bitter January night when Mark, a seasoned delivery driver for Napoli's Pizzeria, received an unusual order. The address led him deep into the outskirts of town, where the streets twisted like a maze. Despite his unease, Mark prided himself on his punctuality. He navigated through the dimly lit neighborhood, the only sound the crunch of gravel beneath his tires. Arriving at the address, Mark hesitated. The house loomed in darkness, its windows like vacant eyes. He grabbed the pizza box and approached cautiously, his breath forming mist in the frigid air. A chill ran down his spine as he rang the bell. Silence greeted him until a faint shuffling emerged from inside. The door creaked open, revealing a shadowy figure. A woman, her face obscured by the hood of her coat, extended a hand holding exact change. Mark noticed her eyes darting nervously, her movements jerky and erratic. As he handed over the pizza, Mark caught a glimpse of the interior, a dimly lit room with old furniture and peculiar symbols etched on the walls. The air inside was thick with an unsettling scent that made his skin crawl. "Just leave it there," the woman muttered, her voice barely audible over the howling wind. Mark obliged, retreating hastily from the eerie atmosphere. As he turned to leave, he heard a whisper that froze him in his tracks. "Wait." Mark spun around to see the woman staring at him, her eyes wide and desperate. "Please," she pleaded, "take me away from here." Conflicted, Mark glanced back at his car, the engine idling impatiently. Something about the woman's plea tugged at his conscience, but he shook off the unease. He mumbled an excuse and hurried back to his vehicle, heart pounding with a mix of fear and guilt. As he drove away, Mark couldn't shake the feeling of eyes watching him from the house. He checked his rearview mirror obsessively, half expecting to see the woman chasing after him. But the road remained empty, the only sound the hum of his tires on the pavement. Days passed, yet the encounter haunted Mark. He couldn't forget the woman's desperate expression or the oppressive atmosphere of the house. Determined to ease his conscience, he researched the address. To his horror, the results revealed a grim history. The house belonged to a notorious cult linked to disappearances years ago. Rumors of strange rituals and dark ceremonies circulated online, sending shivers down Mark's spine. He recalled the symbols on the walls, now recognized as occult sigils. Unable to ignore his growing unease, Mark revisited the house one moonless night. The air was thick with an eerie stillness as he approached the door, heart hammering in his chest. He knocked, expecting silence. Instead, footsteps approached from within. The door creaked open, revealing the same woman. Her eyes widened in recognition as she hesitated, then beckoned him inside with a trembling hand. "I knew you'd come back," she whispered, tears glistening in her eyes. "They won't let me leave, but you can help me." Mark hesitated, torn between fear and compassion. The woman's story poured out in fragments, a life trapped in fear, secrets buried beneath layers of darkness. She begged him to believe, to help her escape the clutches of the cult that held her captive. As Mark listened, a noise echoed from the depths of the house, a sound that chilled him to the core. Without warning, the lights flickered, casting grotesque shadows on the walls. Panic surged through him, but he steeled himself. He had to make a choice. With trembling hands, Mark reached for his phone, dialing the police. He whispered urgent instructions, his voice barely above a breath. The woman clutched his arm, gratitude and fear mingling in her eyes. Minutes stretched into eternity as they waited, each second laden with tension. Finally, the distant wail of sirens pierced the night, drawing closer with each passing moment. Mark breathed a sigh of relief, knowing help was at hand. As the authorities stormed the house, chaos erupted within. Shouts echoed through the halls, mingled with the clash of steel and the sound of running feet. Mark stayed close to the woman, shielding her from the chaos unfolding around them. In the aftermath, the cult's dark secrets were uncovered, their sinister rituals and twisted beliefs laid bare for the world to see. The woman, freed from her tormentors, found solace in the arms of those who believed her story. For Mark, the ordeal left scars that would never fully heal. Yet, amidst the darkness, he found a glimmer of hope, a reminder that even in the depths of despair, courage could light the way to redemption. And so, as dawn broke over the horizon, Mark drove away from the house, his heart heavy, yet strangely lightened. The memory of that fateful night would linger, a testament to the thin line between fear and compassion, darkness and the fragile light of humanity.